All right, y'all. So let's get started on the NFL Week 9 NFL picks. Um, the first game we're gonna start off with the AFC games. The first game we got is the Tennessee Titans at the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Titans got a win over the Falcons last week, and the Steelers lost to the Jaguars last week. So the Steelers are coming back at home again this week. The Titans had an impressive win at home against the Falcons. This is kind of tough game, but I think. Hmm, the Steelers looked it okay against Jacksonville. The Titans looked pretty decent with their third string quarterback. So if I had to pick, I'm gonna pick. I think I'm gonna pick the Tennessee Titans on the road against the Pittsburgh Steelers. DeAndre Hopkins had an amazing game last week, so I'm gonna ride with the Titans on this one. Next, we got the morning game, which takes place at 9 a.m. on Sunday morning. It's the game in Germany. This game's gonna be in Germany. It's the Miami Dolphins versus the Kansas City Chiefs. The Dolphins had an impressive win over the New England Patriots, and the Kansas City Chiefs lost to the Broncos. Patrick Mahomes did not look good in that game. I know he was sick during that game, but the Broncos got their first win over them. This is probably one of the best. This is the top three. This is one of the three best games that's going to happen Sunday. But this is kind of tough for me to pick. But if I were to choose, I understand. The Dolphins have Jalen Ramsey. He's back and everything on the defense. Mahomes and his receivers have been dropping passes, but uh, I think I'm gonna ride with the Chiefs. I want to ride with the Chiefs for now. I may change that pick, but we'll see. Next, we had the next top game for this week. It's actually on Sunday Night Football, and rightfully so. This is a primetime game. It's the Buffalo Bills at the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bills are coming off of a mini bye after beating the Buccaneers at home last week, and the Bengals are coming off of an impressive win over the San Francisco 49ers on the road in San Francisco, in Santa Clara. Joe Burrow looks great. He looks healthy again. The receivers and everything, everybody had a great game. This is in Cincinnati. This was a game that supposed to took place last season in the regular season, and I believe week 17. Um, I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals at home. I think they can get it done. I feel like they're just a better team. The Bills, I don't like how the Bills been looking. They've been struggling and everything. So I'm going to take the Cincinnati Bengals to win. I think the Bengals are actually like they're coming up again. They're starting to get their stride and find their rhythm again, and I believe they're going to be back on top again. Next, we have the Monday night game. We have the Los Angeles Chargers against the New York Jets. The Jets didn't look good in that game against the Giants, but they did win. They now stand at 4-3. They still won, even though Zach, he didn't look great. He wasn't great. The offense wasn't great. That game had so many punts. It set a record for so many punts in that game. But the Jets still got it done at the end. And the Chargers are coming off of a win after they dominated the Bears on last Sunday Night Football. I know I don't like I said, I don't know if I can still trust the Chargers against good defenses or anything. The Bears, let's just say it. The Bears don't have a defense. Let's just be honest. They don't have a defense. But Justin Herbert looks good. Austin Eckler and Keenan Allen, and um, I think I want to go with the Chargers on the road at New York. I think they can pull off the win. Um, I don't know because the Jets defense is still good, and Brandon Staley, the coach of the Chargers, he is real questionable. So that could I can see coach calling could cost the Chargers that game. Next, we're going to move on to the AFC versus NFC games. And before I get into it, I want to let you guys know to go follow me on Instagram, go follow me on TikTok, all my social medias. Okay, so now we're going to move on. We got the Washington Commanders at the New England Patriots. The Patriots lost to the Dolphins last week. And the Commanders once again kept it close to the Philadelphia Eagles and nearly beat them, but they lost to the Eagles at home. This is kind of a tough one because I don't know if I can continue to believe in this command. I mean, I know they have talent, but I don't know if I can believe in them. And the Patriots, these the Patriots are kind of gradually a little bit starting to find themselves. This is kind of hard. This is kind of hard, but I'm going to take the New England Patriots at home to get it done. I think they can win this one. Next, we got the Arizona Cardinals at the Cleveland Browns. The Cardinals lost to the Ravens last week, and the Browns um lost to the Seattle Seahawks on the road. They still don't have Deshaun Watson, and now Joshua Dawes is not there. He's been traded to the Minnesota Vikings. So, I want to take the Cleveland Browns just because of their defense. I think the Cleveland Browns are going to get it done at home in the dog pound. Next, we got the Seattle Seahawks and the Baltimore Ravens, and I think this also may be a pretty decent game. The Seahawks are currently 5-2, and the Ravens, I believe the Ravens are 5-2 as well. Uh, so no, they're 6-2. I'm sorry. So I don't know. The Ravens are great, man. The Ravens beat the Cardinals last week. The Seahawks beat the Browns, and we saw what the Ravens did to the Detroit Lions. But see, this Seahawks defense, the Seahawks team is nothing to be slept on either. And but I want to choose the Ravens at home. I just feel like they're just a little better team. They're better. They're like a little better than the Seahawks. So I'm going to take the Ravens at home to win. Next, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Houston Texans. The Buccaneers lost last Thursday to the Bills on the road, and the Texans lost to the Carolina Panthers on the road. These two teams, I mean, I still think the Texans can be a great team. They're 3-4 right now, and I still think they can be a great team. And meanwhile, the Buccaneers are also 3-4. This is kind of a little tough to pick. I don't know, but I think I'm going to go with the Houston Texans at home. I want to pick the Houston Texans to win it at home. Next, we have the Indianapolis Colts at the Carolina Panthers. The Colts lost to the Saints last week, and the Panthers got their first win of the season against the Houston Texans. This Panthers team finally got their win. But I still think the Colts are a good team, even though they're 3-5. The Panthers are now 1-6. So I feel like they're going up against a tougher offense now. You know, um, I'm not saying that the Texans offense isn't good, but I just think this Colts offense is pretty decent as well. But the Panthers, they found a way to win. They found a way to win. Bryce Young had a pretty good game. So, I might this might be crazy, but I'm just gonna take the Carolina Panthers at home as well. To win this one. It might be a close game. I may change this pick, but we'll see. Next we have the New York Giants at the Las Vegas Raiders. The Giants lost to the Jets last week in an ugly game, and the Raiders lost Monday night to the Detroit Lions. So, um, the Raiders at home. Let's see. I think I might take the Giants on the road. I want to take the Giants on the road to get this done against the Raiders. Next we have the Minnesota Vikings. We got the NFC games. The Minnesota Vikings at the Atlanta Falcons. The Vikings now have Joshua Dobbs as their quarterback, and if they lost to, I'm sorry, no, I'm sorry. The Falcons, they lost to the Titans last week, and the Minnesota Vikings, well, they beat the San Francisco 49ers. They do have a win over that. They beat the San Francisco 49ers uh, last Monday. But they also beat the Packers this past Sunday as well. Kirk Cousins is out for the season. He tore his Achilles. So that sucks. I hate that for him, and I hope he gets better. But who is the better team? I think I'm going to go to the Minnesota Vikings on the road with this one. I'm picking the Minnesota Vikings to win this one on the road, despite not having Kirk Cousins. They still got some offensive weapons. Their defense, I feel like their defense is better than the Falcons' defense as well. Next, we got the Chicago Bears at the New Orleans Saints. The Saints beat the Colts last week, and the Bears got smoked by the Chargers Monday night. Sunday night. I want to take the Saints to win this one. I think they're the better team. They're better than the Bears. There should be no reason for them to lose this game to Chicago at home. That is. Next, we got the Los Angeles Rams at the Green Bay Packers. The Los Angeles Rams got dominated by the Dallas Cowboys, and the Green Bay Packers lost to the Minnesota Vikings. I don't know. This Green Bay team is not looking good. Even though they're at home, they're still not looking too well. It's been a minute since the Packers lost to the Rams. The Rams haven't beaten the Packers. The Packers have beaten them the last three times they met. And all of them were home games. But as crazy as things has been going on in this season and records are getting broken, and like I said, the Rams have it's been a minute since the Rams beating the Packers. I think the Rams are going to finally beat them now. I think the Rams are going to beat Green Bay, considering how Green Bay is looking right now. Their offense is not good or anything. So I'm going to take the Rams to win this one on the road. Next, we have the money game. We have the big game, which probably should be a Sunday night game and replace the Bills and Bengals game. Um, and let the Bills and Bengals game be a 4 o'clock game, and the Cowboys and Eagles should be a Sunday night. But it's not. It's a 4 o'clock game. The Dallas Cowboys at the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, so this is a tough one to pick. Both teams are looking pretty great. Dak and the boys dominated the Rams last week. You know, and the Eagles, they're looking pretty good too. After I'm sorry, who did they play? Who did they play last week? Who did they play last week? I'm sorry about this. The Commanders. Yeah. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, they even though the Commanders almost got them, but the Eagles still pulled it off. It was a great game. AJ Brown once again smoking the Commanders defense. Uh, this is a tough one. You see, last season we didn't get Dak versus Jalen. No Dak Prescott, no versus Jalen Hurts. It was backup versus starter, starter versus backup. Last season, the game in Philadelphia, it was Cooper Rush as a starter, as a quarterback for the Cowboys in the game against Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. And in the game against Dallas, when they played at Dallas, it was Gardner Minshew, the Eagles quarterback, and Dak Prescott being a quarterback or that game. He played that game. But now we're gonna see Dak versus Jalen this year. And I think this is gonna be a really, really good game. But if I have to pick, I gotta pick the Philadelphia Eagles at home. I think they're gonna get it done at home. This is gonna be a really great game. So that's all the picks for this week, guys. And if you want, you can tell me what you think about my picks, and you can tell me your picks in the comments down below. Thanks for watching this video, and I will catch you guys next week.